In the late 1950s, due to the floods, Harish Sharma moved his family from a small rooftop room in Old Delhi to a fading haveli in a small Uttar Pradesh town called Shahjahanpur. The house had belonged to his late mother, Dadi Kamla, and came with crooked doors, a broken swing, and a deep inner courtyard where a neem tree grew like a stubborn guardian. Harish's wife Sushila stitched blouses for neighbors. Their children were Arjun, 8 years old, and Meera, 13. Money was thin like water lentil soup. Still, the new house felt big enough for dreams. On the first night, Harish called Arjun close. "Son, listen, your grandmother once told me she hid a teakwood trunk somewhere in this house during the partition. If times become very hard, she said, that trunk will save you. It has 3 iron rings on the front and old brass corners. If you see it, call me at once." Arjun nodded, half excited, half scared. From that day, Harish searched like a man chasing a moving shadow. He tapped walls for hollow sound, lifted loose tiles, crawled into the loft where Batsmell lived. Sushila clicked her tongue. "We need steady work, not ghost chasing." But Harish's eyes had that shine a man gets when hope gets inside him and refuses to come out. Arjun's new class teacher was Miss Alia from Calcutta, round bangles, a soft sari, eyes like a storyteller. She taught sums with bottle caps and history with little dramas. At 2 o'clock she always said, "Now we go travelling," and the class sailed to places with only her voice and a chalk drawing: Nalanda's ruins, a sailor's sky, a princess who traded her anklets for books. The school had a pet langur, everyone called Mango because he stole mango peels from tiffins. In October, Mango died after chewing a bad wire. The headmaster spoke brave words and the children cried hard for 2 days. One November afternoon, when the fog began to taste like iron, Miss Alia did something different. "We will sit in a round," she said, "and remember Mango. Not a big ritual, only memory and breath. Memory is also a kind of light." They pushed desks aside and sat cross-legged on the floor. Miss Alia kept a clay diya in the middle with one cotton wick. "Close eyes, think of Mango climbing the window. Don't force. Only remember." Arjun kept one eye open. The flame shook, then steadied. The air grew still in a way that made even the tube-light hum go quiet. A soft smell, not he, not chalk, something like green leaves after rain, filled the room. For a tiny second Arjun felt a brush of air on his ear, the exact light slap Mango used when asking for biscuit. No ghost, no shape, only a touch and a feeling that the room had grown larger than its walls. Miss Alia opened her eyes and smiled, not surprised. "Memory came," she said. "Enough for today." Arjun walked home floating. If memory could come like that, perhaps Dadi's memory could also show a way. That evening Arjun told Harish everything, about the diya, the hosh, the touch like a monkey's hand. Harish listened without blinking. "Call your teacher to our house," he said softly. "We will ask Dadi where she kept the trunk." Sushila stiffened. "No planchet in my house. No calling spirits. We are decent people." "It's not ghost work," Harish said. "Only remembering with respect." They quarreled in low voices while Meera pretended to read. In the end Sushila said, "Do what you want. But if any funny business happens, I will throw everyone out." Harish sent a polite note through Arjun. Miss Alia replied, "We will come, but no tricks. Only quiet remembering." On Monday after dinner, the house wore its best silence. The neem moved only a little in the cold breeze. Miss Alia arrived in a pale cotton sari, hair in a long plait, a small tin box in her hand. Inside were a diya, a stick of loban, and a notebook. "First, you will tell me about your mother," she said to Harish. "Not where the trunk is. Who she was." Harish spoke slowly, as if climbing steps to a temple. "Kamla who hid coins in pickle jars. Kamla who sang thumri while rolling rotis. Kamla who once said, 'Gold is not only in bangles. It is what your children learn to do. They sat in a small circle on the floor, Harish, Sushila at a distance, Meera, Arjun, and Miss Alia. The diya was lit. Guggal made a thin blue ribbon of smoke. No questions, Miss Alia said. Only thank you. Speak to her like she hears. If something comes, it will come. If not, we will still be people who remembered well. They closed their eyes. The house made old house sounds, the tick of a wall clock, the groan of wood, a scooter fading on the road. Arjun thought of Dadi's photograph, a confident nose, a laugh hiding in the corners of her mouth. He thought so hard he forgot he was thinking. Something small shifted in the air. Sushila's sewing machine in the corner tapped once, a dry little tuck, as if someone's knuckle had touched it. Then the room went fully quiet again. Miss Alia opened the notebook and wrote a few lines by the oil lamp. Don't ask me what I wrote, she said lightly. I write what arrives. Sometimes it is nonsense. Harish pressed his palms. Whatever came, read it. She hesitated. Then read, not in walls. Not in roof. Ask the neem. Ask the swing. The ring you want is not the ring you need. Sushila made a face. Riddles. Enough drama. But Harish's eyes had widened. He stood, took a lantern, and walked into the angan. The old iron jhula squeaked when he touched it. He looked at the neem, roots like knotted fingers. Ask the neem, he murmured, and laughed once out of shame for believing. Still, he knelt and pressed the soil near the trunk. His hand met something that was not soil. He scraped with fingers, then with a flat brick. A rusted iron ring appeared, stuck in hard earth. Arjun ran to fetch a screwdriver. Harish worked the mud loose, breath sharp in the cold. The ring lifted a small flagstone like a lid. Under it waited a tin trunk, not handsome teak, only soldier dull, bound with rope, a simple brass lock long broken. He carried it inside. Sushila stood up without meaning to. Meera forgot her pretending. Harish opened the trunk. Inside lay cloth bundles, an old ledger, a worn khadi shawl, a handful of silver rupees, a string of glass bangles, and on the very top, a folded letter with, Harish, written in a firm, almost laughing hand. Son, if you are opening this, it means life has bitten you a little. This is not gold for showing. This is seed for growing. Use the rupees to buy a second-hand sewing machine for Sushila, so she can earn in comfort. Use the ledger to keep true accounts. Plant neem seeds at the back, sell saplings next monsoon. Teach the children to read well and bargain well. If you still want rings, make rings of habits, waking early, paying debts, not lying. Those rings do not break. Kamla. Harish sat very still, then began to laugh and cry together in the soft, awkward way of a proud man becoming a little boy again. Sushila touched the khadi shawl as if feeling the hand of its owner. Your mother knew me, she whispered, and there was no quarrel left in her. Miss Alia closed the notebook and put out the diya with a spoon. Sometimes memory gives money, she said. Sometimes it gives a map. They did as the letter asked. Sushila bought a second machine, then a third. The veranda became a small silai workshop. Meera learned measurements, Arjun learned to all the machines and count coins without cheating himself. Harish kept the ledger like a holy book and stopped tapping walls at night. In July they planted neem saplings in old ghee tins and sold them before the big rains. Arjun told Miss Alia that the trunk had been under the neem all along. She smiled. You see? The house was waiting for you to listen. Years later, when people asked how the Sharmas climbed out of thin times, they said, by remembering properly. Some thought it was a joke. Some understood. The trunk stayed under the bed, not as a treasure box, but as a reminder of instructions given by the grandmother. The silver coins were kept near the puja room, shining like wise elders watching over the family. The glass bangles were given to Meera on her college admission day. The silver rupees were never spent. They lived in a ball near the gods, shining like quiet advice. And sometimes, when Arjun sat under the neem tree, a soft breeze would touch his ear, like the playful tap of Mango the langur, carrying the silent blessings of Dadi Kamla. It reminded him of the day her memory showed them the hidden trunk, not to give them gold, but to show them the way out of poverty. They learned that true wealth is not found under the ground, but in the values we carry in our heart, hard work, honesty, and respect for our elders. Because gold can be spent, but good values keep growing, generation after generation. And he also realized that in life, nothing is ever truly lost when it is remembered with love.